everyone, it is Kezia from Steak and Cupcakes, and y'all, we're in quarantine right now, so I am not with my love. He is on his side of Houston, and I am on my side of Houston, and hopefully this will end soon because I miss him so much. And they had to stop running all the park and ride buses. Well, they stopped it because they said that one bus driver got in contact with someone who had corona. So they stopped all the buses, all the park and ride buses that don't go into the Texas Medical Center. Which, y'all, it's just so difficult to go through right now. And I miss Garland so much. But we talk, we get to see each other through Google Duo, and we talk to each other on the phone. So, but anyway, this is 5 reasons why I love my paraplegic fiance. Let's get started. One reason why I love my paraplegic fiance is his love for God. Garland and I are both Christians, and so his love for Jesus, his love for God, it's just beautiful to see, and to see him and both of us grow at the same time in Christ is just absolutely amazing. We do Bible time every night. Right now we're doing the daily Bible plan, which you get through the whole Bible in 1 year. And so just seeing how both of us respond to what God says in his word, and both of us asking questions, or both of us asking for wisdom when we don't understand something, I think it's just beautiful to see. And then Garland just growing as a person, growing in Christ, growing in his spiritual maturity is absolutely beautiful. And so that's one reason why I love my paraplegic fiance. Reason number 2. I love how Garland pushes himself to be a better person. Now, being a paraplegic, you go through certain things that an able-bodied person would not. And I've been with Garland we've known each other for 10 years. And just to see what he's pushed through is just mind-blowing, that he has that kind of push inside of him, because there are things that I wouldn't able to go through. Like, Garland got very sick at one point, not last year, but the year before, I believe. And he lost over 50 pounds. He couldn't eat. Everything that went through Garland just came right back up. And he had a constant fever that only broke when he had that would only break when he had cold water. And so just watching and hearing, and then Garland was not on my side of town, on the Texas Medical Center side. He was on his side of town, which is the Pasadena area. And it was so hard to just, the love of my life, we weren't engaged. Excuse me, were we? I have no idea now. Yes, we were engaged, because Garland proposed the Christmas before all of that happened. And you see my ring right there, y'all. Yes. Anyway, it was so hard. Like, I was going to church, talking to my church family about it, because I just couldn't keep it inside of me anymore. Like, Garland wasn't eating. And if you can't eat, you can't get the nutrients that you need. And so I said, Lord, you have to come through, because this is killing me, and I know it's killing Garland mentally and physically. And if he doesn't eat, I don't know what's going to happen. And so, me being all the way on my side of town, I just felt like I couldn't do anything. And like I'd take the bus, so I'd hop on the bus on my side, and then I'd hop on the bus in the downtown area. Then I'd hop on probably another bus to go to that park and ride on that side of town. And then I'd Uber to the hospital. And so, which was stressful to say the least. It was so, I didn't even know that I had that kind of strength in me. After all of this was done and Garland was finally home, I said I couldn't believe I did that. Because usually I would go to Garland and Garland gives me the money for my Uber. And I did it without him giving me the money for my Uber. And so I'm thankful that I had the job that I had at the moment to pay for all the Uber bills that I had coming up. Which it wasn't much. It was $9, $10, say, to get from the park and ride to the hospital. They weren't that far apart, but it was still very stressful. It took at least 2 hours to get to that side of town. Now, it takes me an hour and a half to get to Garland's side of town, but to go further into the Pasadena, or there's another hospital that he was at, it was so stressful on me. But I still can't believe that I did that. Anyway, I laugh now, but I was crying when it was going on. Oh gosh. And so that's the first reason why I love my paraplegic fiance. His love for God is just so strong. And he's been through a lot. Just to see him push through all that is just beautiful to see. It was absolutely beautiful. So, reason number 2. I love his drive to be a better person. So, Garland's been through an awful lot. Probably more than a lot of young adults can say that they've been through in their life. I remember when Garland, we were switching from hospital to hospital. First, I remember Garland being very hopeful that he would get out of the hospital soon. And then we went to the nursing home. And it was so stressful than any hospital that we've ever been to, because my uncle was in a nursing home, and I saw that firsthand how they treat their patients, which is awful. But Garland, a young person in a nursing home with all these old people, he was being treated so poorly. They wouldn't check on him. All his medicine and all that kind of stuff came late. Everything that is fast track at a hospital, it was slower than molasses in the wintertime at the nursing home. And it was heartbreaking to see that Garland was actually going through this during this time. And like I said, I was riding the bus and then taking the Uber over there as well. So we'll just say it was good, like I said, 2 hours from there to from my side of town to the nursing home, which still wasn't actually far from any of the park and rides, thank God. But then it came to the point where Garland couldn't supplement my Uber rides, and so I had to take on all of that. And I'm not saying it was too much of a financial burden, but it kind of was in a way. It was very stressful, very, very, very. It just takes over your mind that you have to do this every day. And it's not exactly going to see Garland. It was the process of getting from my side of town all the way over there. And so I did it. I don't know how. But Garland's love to be a better person, because I know that he knows what he's been through is not the thing that a lot of young people may go through in their lifetime. But we're talking about a lot of stuff that we hope to share with y'all soon. His drive just to be a better person is so inspiring to me. And I told Garland, if you can't quit. We have to get better. We truly have to get better. And it's easier to say when you're on the opposite side of the spectrum that you're not going what they're going through. Garland was going through, he couldn't eat. They were treating him poorly. Actually, no, excuse me. When we were in the nursing home, he was now able to eat. So he was able to eat. He was, but they were treating him poorly. They were treating him as if he was ready to die. And that's what saddens me the most, that in the nursing home, they're just there to take care of you until you die. And so I didn't want Garland to be treated that way, because he's young, he's vibrant, and he was being treated so poorly, and that just broke my heart. And I just remember going to my church family and just sobbing, or being on the phone with one of my church members and just sobbing, because this wasn't, it was so unreal to me. But I think because of all that, Garland, every single day he's becoming a better person. And like I tell him that everyone has a story to tell. And that is your story. Unfortunately, it's not what you probably pictured for your life, but it's the story that God has for you. And so you're definitely going to inspire someone down the line. I don't know how and I don't know when, but you'll definitely inspire someone through your story. So y'all remember that. All right. Number 3. I love how Garland is so kind to strangers. And I know that seems like, oh, he's kind to strangers. Shouldn't we all be kind? But Garland has this, he meets you and then he likes you. It kind of like me. I love talking to strangers and saying hi to them. But when you hit me the wrong way, I back off. And so Garland's the same way. But Garland still always finds the best in people, no matter what. And it's just so amazing to me that Garland, no matter who's wronged him, Garland always sees the best in people. He always wants to grow as a person in a loving, kind way. And so people absolutely love Garland. I love Garland's personality, because that's who he is. He loves just his family, His family, I remember when we first got back together from the dream that brought us back together, which is a YouTube video hopefully coming soon after all this quarantine stuff. I remember meeting his grandmother and a lot of his aunts. And this was actually before God and I were officially boyfriend and girlfriend. So we've known each other for a couple years, and then we finally got back together. He asked me to go check on his grandmother because she was in the hospital that's nearest me. And so I went to go check on her, and then we just started talking, and a lot of his family was there, and they're like, "You'll just love Garland. He's just the sweetest boy ever." And so it's true. Garland is the sweetest man ever. And of course, they were saying it in a family way, but I know him in the fiance way. And he actually is the kindest person ever. Garland puts me first over everything. And there were times where when Garland shouldn't have put me first, Like when he was getting better from his wound. There was like, baby, there's so much things I want to do. I was like, wait a second, let's calm down. You need to get better first. Let me handle everything that else is going on, and you get better so you can get back, so we can get back to rehab, back strengthened, and you can do whatever you want to do. But now it's Garland's push is pushing his best to do whatever he can for me. And so it just warms my heart that that's who Garland is, that Garland pushes for everyone he knows. Garland pushes for the ones that he loves. And he has the kindest heart. And if you get the chance to meet Garland, y'all know who he is. Y'all who know him personally. And that's another reason why I love my paraplegic fiance. Number 4. I love how Garland is so patient. We are not that couple that fights. We're that couple that will... Okay, so there was Garland tricked me one time, okay? This is just one story. Garland tricked me one time and he said, baby, we're not going to be able to celebrate your birthday. And of course I'm all, what do you mean? And he says my mom and her sisters are going out of town. And here I was, because we had talked about all being together for my birthday. And I said, well, okay then. I was so upset. I was silent on the phone for about 30 minutes. And he's like, baby, you need to say something. I just remember being so upset because I had this whole thing planned. My mom, my sister, and I were going to do our birthday stuff later. And Garland and I and his family would do all of our stuff beforehand. And Garland says that we can't celebrate my birthday. I said, what do you mean? What do you mean we can't celebrate my birthday right now? And he said, yeah, they planned a cruise, and baby, I'm so sorry, but I promise we'll celebrate later. So I was supposed to make a cake, which I did. I made a red velvet chocolate chip cake for his cousin, whose birthday, I think his birthday's on the 22nd of December. And that's the day that I had come over there. And so I remember getting to the house and I was so silent. And Garland says I gave him the evil look. I don't even know what that means. I don't know what that means, but Garland says I gave him the most crazy look ever. It was so like it was a look between I'm upset with you and I don't want to talk to you right now. And I think I want to stay mad at you forever. Oh gosh. And so anyway, I remember that day and we get to Olive Garden and all of a sudden his cousin comes and she hands me this envelope and I said, oh, okay, this is the cousin I don't think I've met her before, but she hands me an envelope and all of a sudden here comes the rest of the family and here comes his cousin who I made the cake for. And okay, so y'all, the night before, I had cried my eyes out. I was crying for at least 2 hours. And y'all was like, baby, don't cry. Please don't cry. Please don't cry. And so we're back at the restaurant. We are we're all sitting down at a long table. And his mother hands me this bag. And she knows I love My Little Pony. So all you My Little Pony fans out there, raise your hand. And so she hands me this bag with a My Little Pony doll in it. And there was something else in there. I don't remember. And then they bring out this cake with My Little Pony candles on it. And I was like, ah! Garland looks at me, he says, we planned on celebrating your birthday, baby. I had to keep it a secret, and I just wanted to slap the mess out of him. I just wanted to slap the mess out of him because here I'm crying, and then I'm like, no way, because this is his cousin's party. And so I assumed that his cousin was told that we were going to celebrate my birthday as well. And oh gosh, it was so, I didn't have any more tears, but I was crying on the inside. And then all of a sudden, Garland gives me a bag, and he knows that I've always wanted, I'm gonna take this off, y'all, a heart locket. And inside this pretty little bag is this little baby. And I wear it every single day since then. On one side, it says, faith makes all things possible, love makes all things beautiful. And on the other side, Garland and I have a saying, and it says, I love you more than you know and more than I can say, 2017. And I'm just blown that they would celebrate my birthday the way they did. But anyway, let me get off this topic because I'm already about to cry. But Garland is very patient with me. He's very understanding. We talk about through everything. So we don't try to go to bed angry. There was once we did, and I get to Garland's house and I said, okay, I know you're angry at me. I'll leave. And he said, baby, look, I'm so sorry. That wasn't right for me to act that way. And I just want to tell you I love you. And so we sit down, we have a talk, a very long talk, and we cry and all this kind of stuff, and we make amends. And so, but yes, Garland is very patient with me, and that's another reason why I love my paraplegic fiance. On to number 5. Oh yeah, it's going down. Y'all see it. It's number 5. It's the last one for this amazing episode. Let's do it. Number 5. I love how Garland loves me. Oh gosh. Garland loves me for me. And that's one thing I had to try to understand when we first got back together. And I guess because that's when I had already been modeling for a while. And it's modeling, you're technically a hanger for someone else's clothing, which that's what it is. Garland loved me for me. And I had some insecurities back then that they're gone now, that I had to get over. And so I had to believe in myself before Garland could believe in me. So even when I didn't believe in myself, Garland believed in me before that. And y'all, that is one of the deepest loves I think is even possible in a relationship, when someone believes in you before you believe in yourself. And everyone's like, you have to find yourself, and which is before you enter a relationship, which I believe firsthand is completely true. that you have to find yourself before you enter a relationship. But believing in yourself in certain things, like there are things that I believe in Garland before he believed in himself. But his love for me is, I think, one of the most beautiful things ever. Garland does whatever he can, whatever is in his power to make sure that I'm cared for, protected, all that stuff, even from his side to my side. Garland is aware of not just my feelings internally, but my feelings on the outside. Like y'all saw in another video, how my anxiety is on, not at its peak at the moment. It's actually on the low. And I'm actually kind of glad that I don't really ride the bus that much, because I had an incident that it was scary. But anyway, and my anxiety was being raised to the top. Garland works with me through everything that I'm going through. And there were some things that I said that, listen, baby, I can't handle this on my own. And he said, okay, baby, well, let's pray about it. Let's talk through it. And that shows me every day how much he loves me. And I love him so much because of that. That Garland loves me for me. And, that is another reason why I love my paraplegic fiance. Forget to that the Cupcake Chronicles will be up on our YouTube channel on April 12th, 2020. And so, y'all, if you have any questions, please comment them down below. And maybe how our relationship works, or things that you'd like me to talk about as the able body in our relationship. Full able body, fully able body in our relationship to the fiance of a paraplegic. So, y'all, please do not forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and have a beautiful rest of the week. Y'all stay safe. Bye-bye.